Today on In the Wood Yard, I've still got snow and we've got some wood deliveries. Let's get busy. So this morning I got a phone call, a guy that wants some wood delivered, a past customer, and I've got another one at the end of this, so I have 2 deliveries today. So I was driving the truck in here from all the cleanup I did with the removing of snow yesterday, and it appears the guy that did my snow plowing yesterday, the snow removal, needs to be fired. He left a pile of snow right here, right in the middle of where I drive through. So I got to go get the tractor and scoop this up because I'm sure it's frozen into a solid block now. So I'm going to scoop it up and clear this out a little bit. We're going to do that first, then we're going to load up some wood. So I'm going to go get the tractor. I'll be right back. Well, I got that mess cleaned up and made a bigger mess. It's about 40 degrees and sunny, so everything's turning to mud and muck and just snotty, and trying to scrape these chunks of snow off the ground. All I'm doing is digging the ground up worse, and you probably saw I ripped up a couple more little trees there, poor fellas, but they were kind of in the way. I was going to get rid of them anyway. So I got this cleaned up, and all I did was dig into the mud here, and not good. I even went over around the corner over here and tried to scoop up some of the snow that was back in here, and all I did was dig it up even worse. Up in there, I took some chunks of sod out and some mud, and it's a mess. So I'm gonna go put the tractor away, and we're gonna load some wood right now. So for those of you that have been wondering where my shelter is, there's no shelter yet. I might not even get one until next year. So this is the tractor shelter for now. All I do is cover up the spots where I sit and kind of keep the controls dry with this tarp. Kind of stuff everything in here. And I got a handy dandy sign I just set right on top here. And yes, I got that sign legally, for those of you that want to know. Oh, I gotta lower the bucket down here. There, that's done. Get my gloves. Now, after messing around with all that crap, now I can finally go get my wood loaded. Get this tucked in here. Doesn't blow off. And then I got a real fancy weight I put back here just to hold the tarp from blowing away. Put a bucket in there. There we go. Now we're gonna go load some wood. So I backed up to this pile here. This is ash, and the guy that I'm selling this to, or delivering this to, has bought wood lots of times, and he usually gets oak, and he said he would like some bigger chunks of some wood, and this is stuff I know that's bigger. I know it's got snow on it, but he takes a full year to burn a face cord. He just finished last year's, and so I know he doesn't have fires very often, and I know this ash will be good. I split this probably 5-6 months ago, well, 4 or 5 months ago now. So I'm gonna pound off the snow and load it up, and by the time I get there, it'll sit out in the parking lot and drive, and it'll dry off. So that's what I'm gonna take him, is a bunch of ash. So we're gonna load it up. Another thing of beauty that I have created. Now here's what I did. This guy wanted, like I said, bigger wood. He wants some bigger stuff. So I dug into this pile of ash, and there's some real big stuff in here. Stuff that's way bigger than I normally would have. And so I threw a bunch of that in. And that, what I'm gonna do is put on the bottom of the rack, because I do stack it for this guy. And then I took this whole corner off right here of this ash that is 1.5 years old, and that's what I threw in the back here. And that I am going to put on the top of the stack, so he has the dry stuff right away. So if you get someone like that, as for a customer that burns wood very slowly or very little, Sometimes I'll take stuff that isn't, you know, a year old. I'll take stuff that's 4 or 6 months old, like this stuff, and I'll put it on the bottom of the rack, and then I'll put the other stuff. And if I get someone I'm not stacking it for, I actually show them, I'll show them the smaller pieces right here. This stuff's a year and a half old. Start burning with that, and then take the bigger chunks like I have in the back there in the bottom and burn with those later on. So I threw some really big stuff in there because he wanted some big chunks. So it's a very nice load of ash. This is just a shame to sell this stuff. It's so nice. But there it is. So we're gonna go deliver this in a little while, and you'll see it. I'll be stacking it at the guy's rack, and I'm gonna take along a hand cart because I have to go just kind of around the side of the garage where he's got his rack there. So, and he pays me to stack it. So there it is. Down the road we go. So here's the rack I gotta fill, and he's still got some wood. So I'm gonna put this as tight as I can to the other side. This is what's left from last year's wood, the face coat I delivered. There, so I just gotta bring the rest of it from over here. And I don't even think I'm gonna need the wheelbarrow that I brought. So when I'm filling a rack, what I always do is I fill the bottom layer first so that if I get any small ones, they don't fall through. So I just try to put some bigger ones on the bottom like that. So I'm trying to dig out the stuff that's dry, so I put this on top. Take out the newer stuff, put that on the bottom is what I'm gonna do. It's a little extra work, but it's the right thing to do. Could have backed up a little farther, I suppose, but I don't really like backing up people's yards unless they tell me to. He's not here yet, but he said he'd be here right around when I get here. So I'm just gonna keep moving because I got another delivery to do after this today. And I've got a delivery to load up for tomorrow morning. So get this one done and get on down the road. So the wood is stacked, and obviously it didn't all fit because he had some there. I had to go kind of high and I had to go with another roll, but it's on cement. And if people have a cover, I usually try to put it back on for them, or do put it back on. Don't want to fit, probably because I got it so high. That's better. And I'm guessing this thing right here can go right against this. beat the snow off. Look at that. Magic. That's what I am, magic. So there it is. A bunch of wood. Time to head down the road and go to the next one. I am back in the wood yard. I got that last delivery done, and I got another one now that wants mixed hardwood. So, and it's a guy that he buys a lot of wood from me. It's probably every other week they buy a face cord. That's all they ever buy. But he does buy a lot of wood. And he said, just bring me whatever burns. He doesn't care as long as it's not pine. So we're gonna throw a bunch of this in. There's some aspen in here, and there's some cottonwood, and then we're going to go over to the ash, which is behind the camera. We're going to throw a bunch of ash in for them too. I've got another delivery that they called while I was on my way back from this last one, but it's for tomorrow morning. They want 2 face cords, or 2/3 of a cord, if that's how you like to say it, of oak. And so I backed up the trailer already over in the side over there. So when we get this one loaded, I'm going to throw some oak on to get a head start on that delivery, so that in the morning I don't have as much to do. So I was going to throw a bunch of this in and then throw a bunch of ash in here. Another beautiful load of wood. So when I got that first bunch from over there, I thought it was going to be mainly like aspen and cottonwood, but there was actually a bunch of maple in there and some ash. So I put quite a bit of it in, and I put a whole bunch of this stuff in over here to the ash that was in there. So now we're going to go over to where my trailer is, and we're going to throw some oak in to get a head start on tomorrow's first delivery, and then we're going to go deliver this one, because the guy told me, he said, end of the day bring it. So end of the day for him means right around dark. So we're gonna go load some oak right now. Okay, so we are over by where I parked the trailer. I got a couple face cords, or 2/3 of a cord of oak right here. I'm gonna throw a bunch on. Maybe I can get it all loaded before I have to leave for my delivery. So I'm gonna throw this on so that it's ready first thing in the morning. I can deliver this. Now, something I want to kind of mention, not that it matters to you guys, but I am going to be going not tomorrow, but the day after, with my brother Ken. We are going to New Mexico, going elk hunting. One of the fantastic viewers, Jeremy, invited me to go elk hunting in New Mexico. He manages a ranch down there, and so he invited me to come down, and we're gonna go elk hunting, so that'll be pretty darn cool. But I'm still going to have videos every day. Tomorrow I'm not going to make one because I have to get ready for my trip and pack everything, but I'm ahead on videos. I usually, just so you guys know, most of you know this, I'm usually anywhere from a week to 2 weeks ahead on my videos. Right now I'm about 2 weeks ahead. So when you see this video, the next video you're probably going to see is going to be me and Kenny doing a road trip talking about firewood. So we're going to do a video, we're going to talk about that on our trip, because it's an 18-hour drive, or 19 hours, something like that. And so we're going to do that, and then we're going to also film the hunt when we're there too. So we'll be elk hunting. I'll be elk hunting. Kenny will be the cameraman. He's coming along with me because he's retired. He can do that kind of stuff. So I will probably have this video out about the time when well, it'll be right around when I get back. Right around Christmas time, this one should be out, right around there. So anyway, Merry Christmas, because it's like 2 weeks ahead for me. So we'll see you then. So I'm going to load this up right now. We're going to chuck in a whole bunch of oak right here. Oh, look at that. All the wood that was over there is now in the trailer. I've now created another thing of beauty. I must say. Well, that took about 15 minutes of chucking, and so it's usually 6-7 minutes per rack if I don't go super fast, but it's in. So right here's where it was, and it's ready to go for tomorrow morning, which is really nice because all I gotta do is back up to the trailer, hook it up, and drive away. So now that I found my gloves, I am going to go deliver the load that's on the truck. And I usually don't record when we go here because I back right up to his rack. It's a small garage, and as I hand the wood to him on the tailgate, I just stack in the tailgate. He stacks as fast as I can get it there, so it works out pretty good. He's a younger guy. Well, to me he's younger. He's probably 40-ish, and he's a real worker, so I like delivering to him. They buy a lot of wood, and he helps unload. So I don't think you're going to see that, so it is goodbye for now. So next time you see me, it'll be me and Kenny. We will be in the truck traveling west, going elk hunting. So you're gonna get to see that too, so it should be pretty cool. So we'll see you then. Between now and then, poke some buttons. I'd appreciate it if you would. And get outside and get cutting. Good night, Irene.